Two HVAC companies, same city, same 40 jobs, same 10 techs. Who does it better? By 5 p.m., one company has completed 34 jobs and the other company has completed around 42 jobs. And 8 extra jobs, that means around $2,500 in extra income. And you know what the crazy part is? The manual company, basically the company which was doing manual dispatching, they worked harder. When both companies started the day pretty much the same. So same 40 jobs and one problem. Tom, the technician, called in sick. So at the manual company, the dispatcher starts the day at 6:45. She opens her board, starts the laptop, plots things on Google Maps and starts puzzling around. Which tag goes where? What does the existing schedule look like? Or if Sarah has availability, does the skill match, etc. If not, what's the overtime rate of Sarah? Who has the right certification? Which customers one morning? Who's the closest to what? And an hour and a half later, 8:15 in the morning, she's got something she feels a bit decent about, but techs have been waiting in the parking lot since 7th. But let's look at the other company which used AI dispatcher. And what basically they did was they came into the AI dispatcher, either they uploaded the jobs or they just typed in that called in sick, who can go. And what the AI dispatcher did was it identified the existing schedules of tech, who has the right skill to replace Tom, and do they have the availability in doing all the millions of route calculations. Within 90 seconds, it suggested, hey, you know what? These 5 people or these 3 people, like Sarah can do these 3 jobs and Ethan can do this 2. And basically, the day was planned. Only one thing, the dispatcher changed the time conflict because customer preference was a bit different than what AI suggested. But basically, all that 1.5 hours was scrambled down into 90 seconds. But you know what? The scheduling time difference is not the only thing that's important. The real gap is in 3 places that most service companies owners never think about, and they compound all day long. So the first one, what happens when the plan breaks? Same phone calls at the both company. Miss Peterson, no AC, 98 degrees, toddlers at home. It's an emergency, you gotta rush down. So the manual company, dispatcher starts calling around. Every tech is mid-job. The only option, pull a routine maintenance out, reschedule that customer and send the nearest available tech who happens to be 35 minutes away. And this is what I have observed talking to HVAC people as well. So one of the guy, he told me that his maintenance appointments were getting pushed over by 2 weeks because every time they start their day, they had something planned for a maintenance and something came up. And another thing, which is also like the one rescheduled customer, which you had to put away, they got angry as well. And because they took morning of the work, and emergency response time was like hour and 20 minutes. And you know the worst part? The tech's entire afternoon is now thrown off. Every job that it is running late, it's a domino effect that doesn't stop. Now the AI company, the dispatcher flags the call as an emergency. The system scans all the 9 available techs, not 10 because Tom is not available, and finds Carlos, who is finishing a job 2 miles away and will be done in 20 minutes. And he is fully certified. But here's the key. It doesn't just slot Carlos in. It re-optimizes
his entire day
and shifts his next job to another tech who's passing around through that area later. The ripple stops. So basically, instead of just squeezing in the appointment, it's like, okay, you know what? Carlos's appointment, these 3 appointments can be done by the other person who is done sooner, or it's cheaper to pay him overtime rate. And everyone else's day is untouched, customer is happy, and all the time windows are satisfied. So this is the gap that nobody talks about. It's just not that you handle all the emergencies, it's whether handling it destroys the rest of the day. Manual dispatching is like pulling a thread on a sweater. You fix one thing and the 3 other things are unravel. And AI dispatching absorbs the head. The rest of the day stays impact. Now gap number 2, mistakes you don't even know are happening. Here's a real scenario. 11:30 in the morning, a commercial AC unit, which is at a restaurant, requires HVAC advanced certification and an EPA credential. The manual dispatcher assigned Kevin this morning. Kevin is a HVAC certified, all certifications are there. Seems right, except Kevin is only certified to do residential certification. Now, you might not be facing this problem when you are a 10 or 20 people team, but if you're a 50 or 100 people team, then you would know the pain that he has not done any commercial training and it will not go right. So Kevin pulls up and looks at the unit, picks up the phone and is like, hey, this is the VRF system and I'm not certified for this. So now you've got a wasted truck roll, a restaurant at 95 degrees, and a manager who is calling your competitor by noon because you didn't fix it right and you sent the wrong person to a nice money-making job. The dispatcher has to find another tech. The one guy who has both certifications, commercial and pull from his route. This goes again back to the scenario one, where everything is a domino effect and the restaurant has been waiting for 3 hours, etc., etc., etc. You know the mistake. Now, the third problem. Honestly, this is the biggest one, the routes. This is where the real money lives and nobody is paying attention to. When a human dispatcher dispatches to build their house, they are doing their best. They are like, hey, you know what? If I'm planning my trip from Toronto to California, I'm going to plan it like, okay, I will be in New Jersey 8 hours from now. Then 5 hours in, I'll be at this location, I'll stop, I'll book at a hotel, etc. It's not optimal because I wouldn't know if a snowstorm comes in on my way or it rains, I get delayed. I might have to stay in Pennsylvania, for example. But logical and optimal are two different things. And if you're, of course, just in one city doing hundreds and thousands of jobs, you need to be optimal, not logical. And here's what manual dispatching looks like on a map. The tech goes north. She gets pulled south for emergency, then back north, then west for a fill-in, 110 miles, 2 hours and 45 minutes of driving. You know that this is what we call a zigzag routing. And here's the AI route. Basically, they start from home, work through one area, minimal backtracking. So total travel time is like 65 minutes and 1 hour 35 minutes of driving. That's 45 minutes fewer miles and over an hour saved in the per tech per day. So multiply that across like 99 techs. You're smart enough and you will get like the calculation is something 405 fewer miles per day, 1,100 fewer miles per month, and $4,800 in fuel savings. But the fuel savings aren't even the big number. The big number is what your techs do with that extra hour. One extra job per tech per day is $300 average ticket in HVAC. Let's do that. That's a $2,700 per day, $54,000 per month of extra income from proper route planning alone. And I want to zoom out for a second because I think people misunderstand what AI dispatching actually is. It's not about replacing your dispatcher. Your dispatcher is probably one of the hardest working people in your company. The issue is that you are asking them to handle a math problem with 10,000 possible solutions and asking them to eyeball it like, hey, you know what, send someone fast. And then when things go wrong, then they always go wrong once a week. We are asking them to resolve that entire 10,000 calculation equation, which is impossible on a fly. And AI doesn't make your dispatcher unnecessary. It makes them unstoppable. Instead of spending 3 hours building the puzzle, they spend 20 minutes reviewing it. Instead of scrambling the emergencies, they watch the system absorb it. And let me give you the full picture of a 10 tech company. Scheduling time saved 40 hours per month. Fuel savings from better routes, which is around $1,000. Overtime reduction, which is like $3,600. And then revenue from additional jobs, which is like, as I said, around $50,000 to $70,000 based on your rate. And then here's what I want you to do. This week, pick one normal day and write down these three numbers. How long scheduling took, how many curveballs like emergencies, sequencing the route, etc. it took, and then total miles your team drove. If you don't like what you see, reach out to us, link is in the description, and we will run your actual jobs and text through our system of AI dispatching and show you exactly where the gap is. Most companies go from data prep to live in 2 to 3 weeks. See you on the next one.